Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because we're going to be doing a full face of Nosta Beauty. They are such a cool indie brand, so I did already go ahead and do my base products. I did my foundation, concealer, bronzer, and brows and eye primer just because they don't have any of those products. But for everything color on my face, between my cheeks, my eyes, my lips, it's all going to be Nosta Beauty. And like I said, they're such a cool indie brand because they focus on nostalgia. We have a VHS inspired face palette, and then there's also a CD inspired eyeshadow palette. I've played with the face palette before. I really love it, but this will be my first time playing with the eyeshadow palette. So we're gonna do swatches of everything, do a full face, and just have some fun because these products are super fun. So this is the Swatch Me Face Palette Volume 1. You can see it's so cute. It says good looks ahead. Here's what the back looks like, and then right here, you've got your little label. So it opens up like this. You've got a really decent sized mirror and then 2 highlighters and 3 colors, which you can use as blushes or lipsticks. I already have a full video on this. I'll just go ahead and show you guys some swatches really quick. So we've got Fast Forward, which is a really pretty, just kind of soft, neutral cream highlight. Personally, that is probably my favorite shade in the palette. I feel like it just goes with everything. It's a nice formula. And I have seen the owner do TikToks using the highlighters as like a lip topper as well, like a gloss look. So much you can do with this, but here is Play, which is like a really pretty kind of burgundy, plummy shade. We've got Pause, which is a deep burnt red, and then we've got Stop, which is a super bright red. So those are some quick swatches. And then there's also a really beautiful sparkly pink highlighter called Rewind. I've actually used this one as eyeshadow before. Kind of matches the shift on my my nail polish, but this is super pretty as well. So there's all the swatches of the face palette. Very cute. I'm really hoping that they do come out with another volume. All right, now let's talk about the eyeshadow palette because it is just top tier when it comes to packaging. So up close, you can see it's a nostalgia playlist. It says sentimental advisory, explicit feelings, cruelty-free and vegan. And then here's what the back looks like. They've got references to a bunch of really popular songs from the, I want to say the late 90s, early 2000s, if I have to like put a date on it. And then here is the inner packaging. So you can see it looks like a CD. And the coolest part is that this actually does pop out completely. You could technically turn it around. I'll do it because it's not going to mess up the eyeshadows. And it looks like a CD with a bunch of scratches in it. That's very accurate. So let's go ahead and do some swatches. I guess I don't know what color to start off with, but I'll just start right here and go around. There's a light neutral brown called Gone, which the formula of that does feel pretty soft. And then we also have a shimmery orange called Wannabe. It feels soft, but nothing like super standing out compared to a lot of shimmers out there. It just feels, you know, pretty standard. We've got Crazy, which is a lime green matte, a little bit on the softer side. We have Hypnotize, which is a really pretty kind of blue toned silver shimmer, and that one does feel a little bit chunkier. Okay. I don't know why I'm like doing this down instead of like showing you the colors like I normally do. That's so strange. I'm sorry. Then we have the shade Believe, which is a little bit more of like a grungy, olivey kind of brown. We've got Dilemma, which is a slight kind of satiny duochrome, kind of like pinky orangey type shade. We've got Heartbreaker, which is a neon pink. That one actually looks pretty bright. And then lastly, we have the shade I'm Blue, which looks like a really pretty sparkly purple blue duochrome, probably the most interesting of the bunch. Okay, so the matte browns feel super soft. I will say though that I'm definitely not blown away by these shimmers. I feel like they're pretty, but they're just like nothing super special compared to a lot of indie brands out there. I mean, I'm sure that we'll be able to come up with a cute look, and it does seem to be good quality, but I do have an overall feeling that this palette stands out to me the most because of the packaging. Okay, so I zoomed you guys all the way in, so I think we'll go ahead and start off with eyes and then finish off with cheeks. I kind of want to get out of my rut a little bit. I've been doing a lot of neutral looks, so maybe we can start off with this light green right here called Crazy and do a pop of neon in the inner corner because that's always fun. Actually, just gonna tap out my eyeshadow primer real quick because it's been a minute since I put it on and it's getting a little crazy. All right, so I'm just grabbing Crazy on a small pencil brush and I'm gonna start that off on the inner corner, kind of just giving it a little pop. I feel like whenever I do a more intense inner corner like this, I always like to do the inner corner first. It just like sets the tone for the rest of the look. So just building that up a little bit. Like I told y'all, this is definitely a bit of a lighter green. It's not super intense, but I feel like that looks really cute. So I definitely want to test out the matte browns just because I feel like they did have a really good texture to them. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here called Gone, just on kind of a medium size fluffy brush. And I'm going to start that off through my crease. Okay, I feel like it definitely is looking much warmer in my crease than it looks in the palette. Kind of almost gives like a little peachy tone. So just lightly buffing that out upwards, make it nice and soft the way I like it. And I am like slightly blending it in with the inner corner green, but not too much. I don't want it to get muddy. I just want it to be like a soft transition. I think next I'm going to take a flat eyeliner brush and, you know, keep going with the vibes of the palette. Got to hit all these pops of color. I'm going to take the Neon Pink Heartbreaker and just pop that on the lower lash line right here. Mostly just getting that really close to my lash line, and then I'll worry about blending in a second. Just slightly buffing that out. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab the deeper brown in the palette, Believe, just on a big pencil brush. And I'm gonna throw that in the outer V. I will say it's definitely more of a mid-tone brown, so there's not a ton of depth to this palette, but just slightly blending that into the outer V and over a bit. It is blending pretty good, which is exactly what I expected because I feel like the texture of these is just so soft. Normally when I feel a shadow like that, I know like it's gonna blend pretty easy. Okay, so that's mostly blended, but I am gonna go back in with my previous brush and just go over the edge. I'm like trying to decide how to finish up this look, and I think I'm going to bring in some of those cool tones now. So I'm gonna start off with the shade I'm Blue, just picking that up with a pretty dense eyeshadow brush. Okay, I'll try it on its own first. Okay, it's pretty sparkly, but I don't know. I just feel like it could benefit from a glitter primer or spraying my brush. So I'm gonna try spraying my brush on the other side and we'll see how it looks. Okay, let's try. Oh yeah, that definitely looks much more intense. I just had a feeling it was that kind of shadow. So I'm just gonna bring that over about halfway. Just spray it and add it onto this side also. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab the silver shade. Again, I'm gonna try it on its own first and then we'll see if I like it wet a little bit more. Just gonna pop that on the inner corner of the lid and then over into the blue. Actually really pretty. Don't feel like I need to spray my brush for that one. But you know, I do need to keep in mind everyone has different preferences. So, you know, if you are someone who's not loving this trend of like super intense, super sparkly, super foiled shadows, then maybe these will be a little bit more up your alley. I think that like overall, I know I didn't grab into the orange or the like rose gold kind of shade, but feel like I captured the essence of the palette. I'm gonna grab the About Face Acidic Shadow Stick. I just love using this in my waterline when I have a pop of neon green on the inner corner. I just think that it goes together so cute. And then I'm gonna grab the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara and coat my lashes. Okay, so now let's jump into the face palette to complete this look. I'm kind of feeling the shade Play today for blush, and then we can kind of go from there. Yeah, I think that'll be cute. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit with my finger because it is very pigmented, and I'm just gonna tap into my cheekbone. Look at that. Okay, just gonna slightly blend that in just by tapping. Ooh, it's so pigmented. All right, so I have the color down. I think I may have picked up a little bit too much. I'm just gonna go back in with the brush that I use for my foundation and just slightly go over that. It's still a very bright blushing look, but now it looks a little bit more seamless. And then just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. This is also one of those products that like really warms up well. I'm kind of lazy, so I tend to just like stick my finger in and like rub it around for a while and hope that it'll get warm enough and like it'll work well for me. But sometimes it is better to like use the back of your hand and like not get excess product. But like I said, I'm kind of lazy about it. So I'm not feeling basic today. So I think I'm also gonna go ahead and take the shade Rewind just a little bit on my finger and tap that over the blush just for like an extra sparkly look. I know it's a lot, but I'm kind of feeling it. All right, now I'm gonna dip into Fast Forward and I'm gonna use that on my nose. A little bit of highlight. You can see this one just looks so natural and pretty. I'm gonna get a little bit on my chin. And then I'm also gonna top a little bit of that over my cheekbones. So lastly, it's kind of hard to decide what to do for lips just because you guys know, I'm pretty basic. I have a lot of color going on already and I really just tend to go for a neutral in most cases. I think I might go in with Pause and just use it pretty lightly. A good trick would be to go in with chapstick first and then just add a little bit of this and it will like blend into the chapstick really easily. But I'm just gonna take a little bit as almost like a stain because I don't have much on my finger, but also you could go with a lip brush and do it super opaque. And you can see it's actually quite a bit lighter than what it looks like in the palette. And then maybe let's just go in with a little bit more of Fast Forward, the lighter highlight, and just top that. Give it a little glossy look. Also, this is the finished full face of Nosta Beauty, and I honestly really love how it turned out. I feel like for using just two little palettes, I love the look. I feel like the cheeks turned out so pretty, which I'm not surprised at all because I do really love this face palette. I've told y'all that already. I feel like it's super versatile, super easy to use. It's so cute, but it's also just very functional to me, and I love a cream cheek, so living with that combo there. As far as the eyeshadow palette goes, I feel like it is, like I said, just incredibly cute. I love all the thought process behind this. I love the packaging. I think it would be such an amazing gift. I do feel like it's good quality. I like the look that I got overall. Matte seemed to blend super easy, but for me personally, just my personal preference, the shimmers do seem a little lacking just because I feel like I either want to go for like a really intense metallic or just like an amazingly incredible duochrome or like a super sparkly shade. Like those are kind of what I go for versus like this more like soft, satiny kind of in between shadow. So that's just something to keep in mind if you have a similar preference to me. And then like I said earlier in the video, if you are not like me and this is the kind of shimmer that you go for, then it could be a pro for you. So overall, I would say I really like it. I did receive this one in PR and I didn't purchase it myself because I was kind of, not sure about the color story. I wasn't like in love with it enough to purchase it. I will say I like the color story more after playing with it. I like the way the look turned out because I feel like I used a lot of different things and it all seemed to end up going together really well, but I kind of agree with my initial thoughts that it doesn't like necessarily add anything to my collection. If I was going to recommend something from Nosta Beauty, it would be the face palette. Like, that's the standout to me still, but I think they are so cute. I cannot wait to see what they do next. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!